this is the only person that does poll that they could possibly defeat Donald Trump is Michelle Obama. Now, the pro for her becoming president would be that the left would be happy that we finally had our first female president, and right-wing conspiracy theorists would be glad we still have a male president.
This is the Talk Down.
Democrats have a lot of work on their hands, and they seem to keep making it worse for themselves. So after this terrible debate performance a couple weeks ago, first of all, it shouldn't have been a surprise that Biden's like that.
Yeah, that's what shocked me the most.
The media and the Democrats have been complacent in hiding his mental state. There's been a lot of questions about. They go, "Oh no, we can barely keep up with him. Oh, he's so energetic," and then they're all shocked as it comes crashing down.
That was the weirdest thing to me because it felt like, because it always felt like they were lying and covering up, and now they're feigning shock.
Yeah.
So what is going on?
And here's the thing: I watched the debate. Obviously, like, I'm a Trump supporter. I thought Trump did great. As someone who's conservative and a Trump supporter, I didn't think Biden did well, but I was surprised at their reaction to it. Yeah, because to me, it's
that was surprising.
To me, it's like, that's how Biden is. He kind of if you agree with him already, he said his policies and he was old and tired, and that's how he is. It kind of shocked me that they were so surprised about it. But now I feel like they're actually making things worse by going through this whole debate over whether they should replace him.
True.
Because it's just going to divide the party more. I think they're stuck with him. Unless he decides to step down, I think it's very hard politically and legally to replace him and get him on ballots in different states.
What if he doesn't live?
Exactly.
I mean, but no joke. I mean, it's...
Let's go through some of the names they've been bouncing around. There's been one congressional Democrat, I think, so far has called for him to step down. There's a lot of... The New York Times wrote a editorial about how he should step down. But these are the names that they're floating. And none of these people, I don't think, poll higher than him against Trump. They're all losing Trump theoretically. So first up, we have Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
So she, of course, we all know, can't really speak any better than Biden. She has different speech problems than Biden, but still just as many speech problems.
Much less appealing.
She loves yellow school buses, and she thinks space is amazing. But I've tried to come up with a positive. I was trying to think of positive reasons. So the thing is with her, if she becomes president, there would be no one above her, so she could finally stop sleeping around to advance her career. There'd just be nowhere. There's nowhere to go once she makes it there.
She'd ever hear him.
Yeah. Then the other name that they float around a lot is Gavin Newsom, our governor here in California. And again, he's if he had a better record, I think he'd be a great choice for them. Not that I like him, but he's a very savvy politician. Right. And I think part of his savviness, he's a good looking guy. He's very smarmy, and he's like he knows how to like talk and debate. But he's just a terrible governor. So you can't say, you look at how California is doing.
Yeah, look at California. You want that.
You want homelessness everywhere. You want it's just,
I feel like my thing on Gavin Newsom is that he's like a Adam Sandler movie bad guy looking guy. Like he looks like a character, but I don't think he's aware of that.
No.
Like I don't think he has any self-awareness that he looks like a cartoon rich douchebag. Trump is a cartoon character too, but I think he has some awareness of his own cartoon characterness. Like I think, like we talked about before, like he is like the cartoon billionaire, and I think there's some. I
like Richie Rich grew up.
Like it's just like you get this idea that sometimes he's kind of elbowing, but nobody's more serious about themselves than Gavin Newsom.
But Newsom he takes himself very seriously. And he's a savvy politician, but he just has a terrible record. But I do think the pro of him, if he ran and got elected, he'd leave California so we could get a new governor here. And also he's used to working in a poop-infested environment here in California, so they wouldn't have to clean up after Biden and Commander, who have pooped all over the White House. Just leave it all there. Then the other one they've been bouncing around a lot is Gretchen Whitmer. She's the current governor of Michigan. I know she's like a leftist.
I vaguely remember her from Trump. COVID times.
I don't know she had like endless lockdowns and was very strict.
Oh yeah, she was super hardcore about it.
Very strict about the lockdowns. So she's a horrible person. Of course, the pro with her is that if she lived in the White House, she'd be much closer to the FBI headquarters next time they plan to fake kidnap her. Because you know that story, right?
Yeah.
That was the one where there was a supposed plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer by a bunch of far-right extremists.
I remember that.
And then when they all got arrested and they started investigating it and trying to bring it to trial, something like half of them were FBI informants. They were all just convincing each other to pretend they were going to blow up a bridge, they said. But all of the seeds for this idea.
Is that when they had like a Lego building? Oh, that was the Capitol. When they had like a Lego building at the Capitol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I haven't heard this one mentioned a lot, but AOC was bounced around a few times. The only pro I can think of her is that we've had someone who's too old and senile to be president. So maybe if we follow that up with someone who's too young and stupid to be president, it'll balance them out, and they'll just cancel each other. And then there's Jill Biden, who a lot of people think is currently in charge right now.
She'd be able to really encourage everybody. And, she's a doctor.
She'd be President Dr. Jill Biden. Have to call her by all her titles. I don't know any pro for her other than I think things would just keep there'd be consistency in that everything.
Maybe her and Joe would stick together. Like they'd just be a team.
He'd
just kind of smile.
He could sleep on a couch in his CPAP machine all day, and she could run the country as
she could just say
as horribly as it's been run.
She could just say what Joe is thinking. Right?
Yeah. And then Hunter Biden I don't think they're actually considering him.
I mean, dynasty.
He's been invited to all these like high profile meetings at the White House. They're having the family and Democrat strategists come in, and it was reported that Hunter Biden has been attending these meetings. So they have
you just have a family pass,
convicted felon,
get into whatever,
and cokehead Hunter Biden. Yeah. I feel like the pro with him is he's pro-gun, and he called Jill Biden the C word, so he's basically a conservative.
Was that his mom? Or is that a stepmom?
No, Jill Biden. Wasn't that Jill that he called?
I don't know the story. Yeah,
I think it was Jill. Because there's text that came out where he called her the C word.
Oh, okay.
The Bidens, they always try to put out this, especially Joe when they talk publicly, they try to put out this image that they're this perfect family.
Oh, I know.
And that they're all so upstanding.
I was riding the bus to the potato farm and I had a flat tire.
And then all of the leaks from Hunter's laptop and these text messages, they're just always cursing at each other and hating on each other and insulting each other. It's ridiculous. And then finally, this is the only person that does poll that they could possibly defeat Donald Trump is Michelle Obama. So I don't think Michelle Obama wants to be president. I don't know how much of the country. I think she's a popular person and that a lot of people like her, but I don't know that they see her being president. But she's the only one that a lot of people think she's the Democratic Party's only hope.
Forced.
Now the pro for her becoming president would be that the left would be happy that we finally had our first female president. And right-wing conspiracy theorists would be glad we still have a male president.
Have you seen those?
They all think.
I saw a photo
Michelle
the other day. There's like a photo of Obama.
Transgender person.
With his arm around some dude that has the face of Michelle, and I can't tell if that's a Photoshop or not. It's got to be.
I get asked all the time because there's this infamous video from Michelle Obama when she was on Ellen dancing, and she moves in a certain way, and they like zoom in on her crotch, and it looks like
I've seen that video. There's a bunch of videos.
People are always like, was she a man? I'm like, no, she's not a man. I don't know. I don't buy into that stuff, but I think it's one of those conspiracies that I don't buy into, but I think is hilarious. I love reading about it.
Or like, Cuomo. Remember they zoom in on his shirt and
he definitely had nipple piercings.
Some kind of giant nipple piercings.
He definitely had nipple piercings under his shirt.
Sorry, we don't have a picture prepared for that, but look it up.
Yeah,
Cuomo nipple piercings. Oh man, that was a good video. You should check out our channel for more great videos from the Talk Down and go to thetalkdown.com and maybe become a subscriber or something.
If you like being talked down to, subscribe to the Talk Down. Do it. Do it.